DeShaun Watson's season is over. It's been reported he suffered a torn Achilles. I think the biggest story coming out of Cleveland was the cheers when DeShaun Watson was being carted off of the field in tears, and then the reaction to the Myles Garrett and Jameis Winston sound, sort of not only defending DeShaun and the cheers for the injury, but talking about what he's been through in the last 4 years or the type of human he's been away from the field. Fred, what are some of your thoughts on that situation as a whole?
It's disgusting. It's embarrassing for a fan base that we've always celebrated as one of the best in the game, in the dog pound. I don't know what's worse though, man, the boos turning into cheers or, DeShaun receiving threats upon his life, in other situations as well as being harassed at other various moments. I believe in DeShaun's off the field allegations coming to on the field. They knew exactly what was going on prior to signing DeShaun to that long-term deal. The fans knew, and the fans were in acceptance at that particular point in time, and they even cheered to get the caliber of player they thought they were getting in DeShaun. Now, of recent years, he hadn't lived up to those expectations. And naturally, it soured all of the fans to where you would even see in Twitter posts and comments on Instagram, they would just go in and say it was the worst pick. I don't know what our organization was thinking at the beginning. Well, maybe you were one of the ones who cheered the signing, but who knows? I just think that this particular situation, you should never, cheer for someone's pain. You should always try and lead with empathy, show some sort of sympathy towards what this man is going through. And I know a lot of times they'll jump back and say, well, he's making all this money, he shouldn't have problems. He's human at the end of the day, who was blessed with a gift from God, a talent to be able to play ball. He still goes through personal things. And mentally, I hope DeShaun stays in there and stays strong. And I hope that he continues to work on himself on a personal level, because we don't know where he's going to come back or how he's going to come back from this Achilles injury. It's one of the tougher injuries in the game. I just think for the Cleveland fan base, you guys got to do better. That was very disheartening for me to witness. And regardless of whatever happened way back when, it's just bad on you guys' part to cheer on someone else's pain.
They're fans, fandom, fanatics of the team. You left Jacksonville Jaguar fans are still fans. You left Pittsburgh fans are still Pittsburgh fans. They're fans. This is what they do. They love, they eat, they breathe this game. We're commodities to them. So you got to understand those commodities that aren't living up to what they think it was, they're going to be upset with. And the DeShaun thing is multi-layered. I'm not saying this as I agree with, because I'm with you. Never cheer at somebody's downfall. That's stupid. Still be, I wish you blessings no matter what you did to me. We've had times in the past, even Kendrick told Drake, I wish you success. But you got to understand, fans want to win, and fans knew how DeShaun walked in. I like how you say allegations, because they were allegations. But there are people out of those millions of fans that cheer for the Browns that think DeShaun did everything they saw on the internet. And they thought, okay, we just gave this man $250 million. He better come in and show out. He was not impressive on the field. He was not mediocre on the field. He wasn't good playing quarterback for the Browns, and they're struggling right now. I'm telling you what fans think. They don't give a damn about all that stuff. They don't give a damn about human beings. You're a commodity making a bunch of money, so shut up and do your job. You're not doing your job well. So if he was balling and got hurt, I guarantee, if he was in the MVP race and tore his Achilles, I guarantee y'all they wouldn't have cheered. Right. But he was not living up to his contract, and now there's a large portion of them that think he did all the stuff that we've all read on the internet and all the allegations and all the lawsuits against him. So that's why I think it was there. I'm not defending the fans. I'm just telling y'all why it happened. Do I say y'all should boo anybody that gets hurt? No. But I think the layers of the DeShaun Watson situation is why it happened. I don't agree, but I understand it.
I don't agree with cheering when anyone is hurt. or cheering to see anyone be injured. When the former president had an assassination attempt on his life, I didn't immediately go to the things and points about him that I disagree with. I went to that you can disagree with a human and not pray for their downfall. And so when I look at DeShaun's situation, it was disheartening to see him in tears and have the crowd cheering his injury. But you also have to peel the layers back and understand that when Myles Garrett or Jameis Winston defend him or almost make him a victim in what's going on in his off the field life, we also can't do that. We were not behind those closed doors. We don't know which of those allegations are fact. I know Myles and Jameis are probably a part of his circle, and I've been around people in his circle who believe that DeShaun Watson is innocent. And then obviously there are people outside of that circle who believe the things that they've read in the court documents. And obviously those things play a part in the way that you perceive him as a human. And we can't make a victim out of someone who is involved in a number of cases where there could be actual victims of his actions. To also pretend that in some way DeShaun Watson doesn't have to be accountable or responsible for what he's been through in some way, even if the allegations aren't true to the T, is irresponsible on us. It doesn't mean that it's okay for you to boo his injury. It doesn't mean that it's okay to be happy that the stress, that the injuries, that the life is what we saw in the outpouring of tears on that cart. I've seen people injure their Achilles. Kobe Bryant tore his Achilles and shot 2 free throws and walked to the locker room. KD sat down shaking his head. Aaron Rodgers walked into the tent, got on the cart, and then walked into the locker room. We've never seen that sort of emotional reaction to it. I do believe his bad play played a part in how they cheered the injury. I also believe his off the field life played a large part in the bad play. Some people can be the villain. Some people can be the person that's hated and use that to fuel who they are for them to accomplish these athletic feats. DeShaun wasn't that. DeShaun was basically perfect to people. He got single mothers homes. He gave his first checks to people that worked in the cafeteria in Houston. His philanthropy and community service was the thing that walked into a room before DeShaun Watson did. To get all the way to the point to where community services and to where foundations and charities and other philanthropic ventures won't even be partnered with you. To me, the tears were about how does my life get here in 4 years to where I can't do the one thing I was always great at. People hate me enough to cheer my season-ending injury in a place that paid me to come here, and I'm doing all that I can. And so to the Cleveland fans, I 100% believe they are wrong. And I think it's sad. And in a situation where I know it's probably wrong to feel for DeShaun Watson, I do. Because like I've said from the beginning, I don't know what happened in those situations. And I can look at this in the vacuum and know all that we put in to playing this game and how much it matters to do that for the people that wear the colors of those teams, to know that a stadium full of your people is happy you can't take the field anymore. I think those two things can be separate and true, but I also know that there could really be true victims of what happened. And in this case, we can't make DeShaun the victim off the field, but on, I do feel for what he had to endure.